Hi everybody, so today I'm going to make a herbal smoking blend. I actually purchased this herbal smoking blend from Mountain Rose Herbs. A lot of times I like to try things that other people make. I mean, this is sold commercially. Why wouldn't I try this before I start blending random stuff? I mean, I do know the recipe. For the most part, everyone says 3 parts base, 2 parts modifier, and 1 part of a flavor. And you can find a variety of herbs in those categories. But when you're not sure what you like, try with something that somebody else already made. That's what I do. And then I'll go from there. Change it. Make it into something for me. I'm using this herbal smoking blend to quit smoking cigarettes, hopefully. I feel like I'm pretty successful, and I will be posting a video on the results of that. Probably, I'm hoping in like 2 weeks. I have been adding more and more of the herbal blend to my tobacco blend. So I started out like 3/4 tobacco, 1/4 herbal blend. Now I'm at half and half, and I'm about at the point where I'm gonna go mostly all herbal blend. But that's the other video. We're just gonna make this herbal blend right now. So in their herbal blend, they have Mullein Leaf, Uva Ursi, Skullcap, Marshmallow Leaf, Damiana, and Lobelia. I'm gonna stick with that pretty closely, but I have red raspberry leaf, and I know people use that as a base, and I'd rather use something that I picked and I know where it came from, if at all possible. So I'm gonna put that in there as part of the base too. When you order herbs that aren't part of a smoking blend, you will find that they are not quite as clean. Here is a picture, or here's the Mountain Rose Herbs blend that we're gonna try to make something similar to. There's a lot of mullein. It's a very fine blend. Well, if you have mullein leaf that you picked at home, or even that you ordered from somebody, you might find that there is, and I've been working on this already, it'll have a lot of stems. If you're making a tea out of it, it doesn't matter. Mullein is great for when you have any type of respiratory illness, great for your lungs. And having the stems in there is actually probably useful, because that's what's carrying all the good stuff to the leaves if you harvest it early, and what'll be carrying it down to the roots if you harvest it late. So you really have to go through and pick out all this stuff. Alright, so I got my mullein all cleaned out, no stems in there, and I also tried to break it up. So we're going to dump that off, and then we're going to next go through the Damiana. Damiana is an relaxant. It's a aphrodisiac. It is great for your nervous system. So this I had to order from Mountain Rose Herbs because I don't live someplace where Damiana grows. And this is definitely finer and a lot cleaner. It's a smaller stem to begin with, so if that stem was in there, it's not as big of a deal. So I'm going to check about half a cup of this Damiana. See what I think. It smells really good. Damiana is good for depression, anxiety, which are, you definitely get anxiety when you're trying to quit smoking. So I'm finding this to be a very good quitting smoking blend. I find myself smoking less. I was afraid I would be wanting to smoke more as I have put less and less tobacco in my cigarettes, but I actually find myself smoking less and less. So without even making an effort to smoke less and less. Oh, I didn't get quite enough. We'll go in fast speed now. Okay, so I'm gonna go with, since I don't want to change too much from what I believe that they have in here, I want 3 parts base and 2 parts modifier. So, and I want to make 5 cups. So I'm going to go with 2 cups of mullein, because there definitely is a lot of mullein in here. And then a half a cup of Damiana, which is also a base, and a half a cup of raspberry, which is also a base. So that will give me 3 cups. And then I'm going to go with 2 parts of modifier. So here's my half a cup of Damiana. Now we're going to do red raspberry leaf. I had this around because I am a woman, and it is always good to have red raspberry leaf around. It's good for cramps, for your fertility, for any womb health. So I try to drink this. I need to drink this like one week of the month, because as I get older, my cramps get worse and worse. So, but I can drink a cup of the red raspberry leaf tea, and within 15 minutes I feel better. So that's awesome. I didn't need to do it when I was younger. Your body changes as you're getting a little bit closer to the big menopause. So I'll clean this out quick. All right, we got the raspberry leaf all cleaned out. It smells great. So I'm going to do half a cup of raspberry leaf. There we go. Next, we're going to move on to the modifiers, the things that are there to, oh, I think I got some mullein dust. All right. Things that are there to make the blend a little smoother. Quite a few of them will have nervine action. So we're gonna go with, you know what, I'm gonna mix this up first and see where I think I'm at in comparison. My plan was half a cup of each of my modifiers. I better lean away from that mullein. Mullein has all those little fine hairs on the leaf, so as it dries, they float around and make you sneeze. Okay, so I'm definitely way more mullein heavy than this, which is right where I want to be. All right, so then I'm gonna go half a cup of each of my modifiers. I got Skullcap, Uva Ursi, Marshmallow, and Lobelia. So Skullcap is good for anxiety, insomnia, it's anti-inflammatory, help with muscle spasms. I'm just gonna dump this right in my measuring cup because I can tell that it's already broken up enough. All right, so we got half a cup of that. Then we are going to go with the Marshmallow Leaf. Marshmallow Leaf is a mucilage or a demulcent. They kind of mean the same thing. It forms a protective film around your, or on your mucous membranes. And this is also broken up real nice. So I'm not going to worry about that. It soothes your membranes by forming that protective film. So we're going to go with half a cup of marshmallow. This I actually had already because marshmallow is nice when you have that sore, kind of sore, dry throat and cough in winter, and it's winter. Okay, Lobelia. All right, I'm gonna go with half a cup of that. You want to be careful not to add too much Lobelia because Lobelia can make you sick or get a headache and stuff, but I think we should be fine with half a cup. It's a pretty big mixture. Lobelia is most often used for smoking cessation. It actually will go in and kind of plug your nicotine receptors. So even though, like, when it's in your bloodstream, the shape of Lobelia is the same shape as tobacco, so it can trick your body into into not feeling the urge to take in more nicotine. A lot of times people, rather than smoking, will just do like a Lobelia tincture when they are working on quitting smoking. You know what? After I'm looking at it, I'm thinking I'm only going to go with a 1/4 cup of the Lobelia. We're just going to up it with something else, because it's pretty stemmy. And just comparing it to this, I'm not seeing very much of it in there. And we want to come up with a similar blend. I know I'm adding the raspberry and changing it up a little, but I've been smoking this for 2 weeks, so I don't want to suddenly be doing something completely different. Set myself back. All right, my son just had a plan. I'm going to mortar and pestle the Lobelia because it's pretty stemmy. Lobelia is kind of an odd herb when used as just a medicine. A lot of times people use it as a secondary herb. They say that it is like an intelligent herb. It'll tell the first herb where to go. Maybe you're having a really bad cramps, and you're taking your raspberry leaf tea and it's just not quite doing it for you. Well, you might want to add 1 drop of Lobelia tincture, and next thing you know, the raspberry will do what it needs to do. So I'm going to add the 1/4 cup of Lobelia in there, and then I have Uva Ursi. This was something that does not grow. I have not seen it around here in Wisconsin, so I did have to order it. It is good for bladder health, lung health. It calms inflamed membranes pretty much wherever they are, it would appear. Bladder incontinence they'll use it for. I'm going to just crush this up a little bit. Alright, so I got about a 1/4 cup Uva Ursi. I'm changing my original plan as I go along because I'm trying to make it match this, just how it looks and what I'm seeing in there, as close as possible, because I have been satisfied. So I'm going with a 1/4 cup of the Uva Ursi in there, and we're going to mix it up. So we have a little bit more base. We have 3 parts base and a 1.5 parts of modifier. Let's see what it looks like. So it looks similar. So I'm just going to give it a light mist. They've been out in the air. They've probably been open longer than they should. I see I didn't cover my Uva Ursi or my mullein. So I'm going to give it a little mist. Mix it around. I don't know if you can see the little mullein dusts flying, but we don't want that. Okay, that looks good. Then I'm just going to bag it up, and maybe I'll roll one up and we'll smoke one. I'll give you my review. If you are interested in purchasing the Mountain Rose Herbal Blend, I'll put a link underneath. I also will put a link to my Etsy site if you want to try it with the red raspberry leaf as an alternative. As always, it was a good time, and if you want to subscribe to my page or comment, then I'll know somebody's actually watching, because my family looks at me crazy while I'm talking to my phone all the time. But we will see you soon. Thanks. Bye. So to update my original video, I smoked that blend overnight, and I just felt it wasn't rich or full enough. Didn't give me a feeling similar to tobacco. So I went through and compared and smelled and looked, and took a half an hour, and I ended up adding a 1/2 cup of mullein and a 1/2 cup of Damiana. Here is the recipe. As always, I had a good time making this blend with you, and if you would like to give it a try, you can check it out at my Etsy shop. Mountain Rose Herbs does sell a similar blend, as I said before. Both those links will be posted below. And don't forget to subscribe or comment so I know that somebody out there is watching me. We will see you later. Thanks. Bye.